What's going on, guys? Mitch here, and today we are taking this Tarmac SL8 steer tube and we're going to show you how to cut it off. So last week I did a video on kind of how we came up with this stack height on the Tarmac SL8. Have the bottom plate, we've got the 1, 2, 3 large spacers, the 2 small spacers, including the one that kind of does the under routing on the cable management system for internal routing on the bar. And we kind of arrived at this point here where, well, not like that, where I've got a mark on the steer tube right here in it with a Sharpie, and basically just trying to figure out, well, okay, now that that's there, how do I cut this and put this, which is hiding inside right now, inside that steer tube, which will end up here. So long story short, we're arrived at our stack height, so what we're going to do is show you kind of pull the fork off and cut this. So we're going to put some tape on this. We're going to bring that mark that's right there, we're going to bring it down just a hair so that this piece can kind of fit underneath it. And remember, there's going to be a top cap that goes on top. And then we're going to reassemble this and get it ready to go so we can start kind of running cables through the bike prior to kind of greasing everything and all that fun stuff. So let's get started on that, and let's go have some fun. So to start with, we're going to disassemble this in the reverse order of kind of how we just put it all together. So we'll take that stem off, and remember, I've got this marked, hopefully you can see it right here. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up or not, but I've got a little Sharpie mark, which is exactly at the top of where the stem is. So we're going to cut down, I don't know, what, 1/16 of an inch or so. So just remember, that's an important line. We've measured this 3 times. So let's take all this kind of apart and not mix it up and not mark it up with a bunch of different lines and cuts and stuff. So there we go. Let's pull that off, pull the spacer out and the bearing out of the frame. There we go. And just like that, we've taken this out of the frame. There's a very expensive piece of steer tube from Specialized. Very crazy. Okay, so we've got our line. Let's go tape this up and move that line down and get ready to cut it. So to start off, I'm obviously going to be cutting right around there. So I'm going to take some Scotch tape, just basically the kind of gift wrapping tape that you use, and cover that line, and it just kind of holds all the carbon fiber together. So that's what I'm using. Let's wrap around that line, probably down a little bit, and transfer that line to it, and then we're going to cut through that all together. Alright, I don't know if the light's going to pick this up, but we have the tape now on top of that line, and we're going to remark it just below that. Remember, we're cutting below the top of the headset, sorry, or I guess it'd be the stem, right? We don't want to cut at the stem, we want to cut slightly below it. So I'm going to move a line down and get a target line here with the Sharpie. So that's what I'm going to target. You can kind of see it on top of the tape. It's a little brighter than what's below it. I'll probably cut at or below that line. There's lots of room here. And remember, you can always cut more. You can't take it back. So let's get this set up in the vise with our Park Tool alignment and our saw, which I'll show you here in a sec. Just for reference, this is what I use. I've had it for a few years. So SG 7.2 oversized adjustable saw guide. And then I use this guy right here. This is a Lennox brand hacksaw, 32 TPI, threads per inch. Higher the number, the more, what's the word I'm looking for? The more coarse it is. So you can kind of see it in the bottom there, 32 TPI, threads per inch, in conjunction with that. So let's throw the stem, or the steer tube, into this guide, and we'll start there. So we've got everything lined up inside the jig, and as you can kind of see, it kind of gives you a little indicator of where you're going to cut inside here, which we're going to hit right on top of that line. We run the saw inside this little thing itself, like so, and it gives you a perfect clean cut every time. So we're lined up right on that line. So we're going to go cut that and then take off the tape and then kind of put it all together. And remember, you can always cut more. So for me, that's what I do, is I just give it a little extra room just in case I've got to cut it another 16th or whatever. So yeah, let's go cut this and see where we come in. And just like that, we've got a nice clean cut where this little spacer bloop, falls right in, and we're ready to go. So we're going to now dry fit this back and put that in the frame and kind of get the stem stack and everything adjusted and see how close we are. So let's find out. Alright, so we're all assembled and perfect. That is just about level. Remember, this little spacer goes on top of the stem. There's bolts in the way, but basically that spacer will go on top. And then our top cap screw will go right there, make sure that's not touching. And then our star nut bolt, if you want to call it that, goes in the middle to tighten everything down. So I think we should be damn close, but if not, I'm almost thinking I may have to cut it a little bit more. I don't think so. I think we should be fine because they say it's a full cut, so I should be pretty good there. And then, yeah, put it all together and cinch everything down. And we'll find out, but I think Bob's our uncle on this one. So there you go, piece of cake. All right, guys, thanks for stopping by, checking out the stem install video, and or I guess the steer tube cut / stem install video unintentionally. Appreciate you guys, and next up, be routing some cables through this puppy. Later, guys.